Hi, this is the Internet Guy coming at you live on YouTube on the Internet Guy for You channel. And my guest tonight is comedian extraordinaire Allan Gitlin, the G-Man. Allan, welcome to the program.
Hey, Stefan, what's going on, buddy? Internet Guy.
Nothing but the rent, man. A couple of days I got to get the rent paid. So, yeah, nothing going on but the rent. So here we are. We're doing our first live stream together, and we've been doing these things for a while now, but tonight we're going to go into new technology and do the live streaming, and we've got the luxury tonight of being on screen together, and we're going to talk about some amazing stories, but most of it is what Allan is like to call
everyday life.
Everyday life, or just bullshit,
Right.
for lack of a better terminology. So, Allan, let's start off with some bullshit. So you can go first.
Well, let's see. Let's tell a story about McDonald's first. How about that?
Okay, sounds cool.
I was a salesman on the road, and there's a McDonald's on the exit by exit 140 in I guess it's Union or Irving. Probably Union. Yeah, Union. And I don't eat there too often, but once in a while, you're hungry, you're on the road, you're running late. So I stopped at McDonald's, and because it's on the New Jersey Garden State Parkway, they can charge a little more, which we all understand. New Jersey, God forbid, we don't know why, but they do. The state has to take a piece of it. That's why. So anyway, so I go to McDonald's and I order 2 cheeseburgers and a medium drink, and the girl says to me, "It's $8.57." And I go, wait a minute, it can't be. I know you're a little more expensive, but it can't be $8.57. The girl says, yes, the computer says $8.57. So now the line is backing up, and people are looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, And she calls the manager over. And the manager says, what's the problem? And she says, well, the guy's giving me a hard time. I said, listen, I'm not giving her a hard time. How is 2 cheeseburgers and a medium fries $8.57? I said, in my head, I figure it's about $4.72, something like that. I don't know. With tax, I don't know. I know you're a little more expensive because you're on a parkway. And the guy says, no. The computer says $8.57. I said, listen, do me a favor. You're the manager. Write it down. 2 cheeseburgers and a medium drink. He goes, it's $4.87. I said, excuse me. I was 15 cents off. Excuse me. I did it in my head. So I said, how did she come up with $8.57? Well, she gave you 4 cheeseburgers and a drink. I said, but I only ordered 2. She forgot to clear a register out from the person before you. Now, how many people were in a hurry, took this girl's word for it, and gave her the money and ran out?
Quite a bit.
Because a lot of people are there. They're people that are salesmen that don't have a lot of time, or people that they're traveling and they just grab something quick and they get back in the car. So I looked like an idiot as the line was going out the door now, because they were trying to overcharge me by $4. Now, I don't know how many people go in that McDonald's. It's pretty busy McDonald's, actually. So if you figure, if they got about 2,000 people in there a day paying an extra $4, that's a pretty nice hunk of change, isn't it, at the end of the day?
That's a paycheck.
Yeah. So they must be, that girl's never going to get fired, apparently. She got job security now.
Yeah, that reminds me of like when I was working as a salesperson in a Florida retail store. I was in a store. I don't want to give the name out. I'll tell you the town, Fort Myers, and the owner would tell us all that when you got done selling whatever the appliance was, and you're sitting down with them to write the ticket, because they were manual tickets in those days, you would tell the people that they're going to charge them an extra $2 surcharge.
Right.
So, and if they bitch about it, don't charge them it.
Right.
So one day I said to the manager of the store, I said, by the way, what's the $2 surcharge for? Well, oh, that's for the paperwork. I says, paperwork? I said, that's part of the sale. And I was like, you know what? You're robbing the people. And the funniest thing was, the owner of the company was the mayor of Fort Myers. So now it's out there who it is now. People can figure it out. It was in the 90s. So this is how unscrupulous people are, when it comes to money and robbing people. But you figure, I mean, that the store did $5 million a year business at least. So you figure $2 per ticket, that's quite a chunk of change. It probably paid the rent for the year.
Used car dealers usually bump. They on the write up. There's usually a bump up of anywhere from $200 to $400 on a bump up. That's a processing fee. So on top of, say they bought a car for $1,000 and they sell it for $3,000, and then you got a $400 bump for processing, so they make an extra $400 on it besides. And
I could tell you funny real quick. Another Fort Myers story. It's funny. I think I'm starting in Fort Myers. I'm working, and I go to the dealership in a lunch hour that I had, and I see this car that I wanted to buy. It was a Toyota. So I said to the guy, look, I'm on lunch. I got to go back to work. I looked at the sticker price of the car. I like the car. So I wrote down on a piece of paper what I wanted to pay for the car. So I said to the salesman, look, this is the price I'll pay. I said, I'll buy the car tonight. I'll come back in here after work. I said, just talk to your service manager and see if he wants to make this deal. He looked at the price. He said, well, that's not the price that's on the sticker. I said, I didn't say that.
Right.
I'm not going to pay sticker. I want the car. I said, talk to your manager and let's play Monty Hall and see if he wants to make the deal.
Right.
So I get a phone call from the manager. Come down, to the dealership. I want to talk to you about the deal. So I go, I talk to him, and he's trying to, bring me up in price. I said, no, I'm going to walk. If you can't do it, you can't do it. I'll just go down to the Fort Myers and Toyota down there in Naples instead of this one, and I'll have them make the deal because I'm going to buy the car somewhere here, in the next couple of days. He says, all right, you can have the car. He goes, come back tomorrow. We'll have it all prepped for you. So I go home. Tell my wife about, getting the car. She goes, oh, that's great, honey. That's the car I wanted and everything. My mother got the same car, yada, yada, yada. That's okay, fine. I'll get it tomorrow. So I go to pick up the car, and the salesman is there, and his name was RJ, right? And he says to me, he goes, here's your car. He goes, so as he's prepping the car, he's pissed off at me. I'm going like, why is this guy pissed off at me? And then at the end of prepping the car, he says to me, he goes, oh, by the way, he goes, how much you think I made on this deal?
Who gives a shit?
I said, that's not my business.
Right.
I said, listen, the deal was made between your boss and me.
Right.
And he decided that he wanted to sell this car. I said, so how much you made to me is irrelevant.
Right.
I said, I'm in sales too. I said, and I got a family. I got kids and bills to pay. I said, so, you win some, you lose some, right? So he gets a little annoyed at me. I get in the car to drive off the lot. So I go pick up my wife and my mother-in-law. I said, let's go to Sanibel Island for the day, and, we'll enjoy the car. As we get on the island, right, all of a sudden, one of my tires is like flat. I says, oh, crap. So now there's only like 2 gas stations on the island. So I figure, where do I got to go quick? So I get there real quick. I didn't blow the tire or anything, but I got to fill the air in it. And I look as I'm filling the air up, and what there was, Alan, there was hold on here, let me see. There was a slow leak on my my tire. And I said, son of a gun, this guy cut the valve stem of my car tire. So now I go back to the dealership, flaming pissed off. And as I go back there, a salesman says to me, oh, RJ got you, didn't he? I says, what? He goes, yeah, when he doesn't get the deal he wants, he goes and slits people's tires. So I'm now hopping mad now. I said, where's RJ? Oh, it's his day off. I said, really? I said, well, I want to go speak to the manager. So I go speak to the manager. He goes, well, I'm surprised he did that. I said, he did it. He goes, well, you got any proof? I said, yeah, take a look at the tire. I said, new tire gets slit. I said, somebody did it. And I said, matter of fact, one of the other salesmen told me that's his way he operates. He goes, well, he's one of my best salesmen. I said, well, you better have that guy, you better fire him and so he can go out and sell horses, because he shouldn't be selling cars. Right. So he says to me, he goes, well, how can I make this up to you? I said, make it up to me. I says, I tell you what we're going to do. I says, I just bought an extended service policy on the car.
want them free.
You're going to take it off.
Right.
I don't want it. I said, as a matter of fact, I said, when I get home, I'm going to take a hair blower and I'm going to take off the decal on the back that shows this dealership, and that the thing that goes around the thing that goes around the license plate, I'm going to take that off too.
Upside down. A lot of people turn them upside down and they're not too happy.
I said, so nobody will know where I got the car from. So I says, furthermore, my mother-in-law just bought a car here 4 or 5 days ago. I'm going to have her take off her extended service policy on the car. And I got one better for you. He goes, what's that? I said, her girlfriend was going to come here and buy a car, but I'm going to take her to the dealership in Naples, and you guys just lost that business too. Mm-hmm. So he said to me, well, don't be so hasty. I said, hasty? I said, let me end this story by telling you this. I said, when a fish stinks, it stinks from the head on down.
That's right.
So he looks at me and he says, well, I'll tell you what. He goes, no hard feelings. He goes, I hope you reconsider, but here's 2 tickets to a cruise to nowhere. I said, you know what? I just came from a dealership that should be in nowhere.
Nowhere, right. Listen, let me tell you a story that just happened to me. Now, I was in the car business, okay? Right. And I was in the service end of the business. So my Audi there's a light that goes on my dashboard for my Audi, and I have no idea what it is. I look it up in a book. It says something with your light package has malfunctioned. So I happen to be near the dealership, so I bring it to the dealership. I bought it, and I said, listen, I don't know what this light says. I look up into the book. It says something about my light package is malfunctioning. So the guy says, yeah, let me bring it in, and we'll take a look at it. So about an hour later, come out, yes, your whole light package is screwed up, and it's a rare thing, but you don't have to pay for it because you got a certified pre-owned, and it should be in about 3 days. We don't stock that part. So I said, okay. Now I was in the car business, so I know sometimes they don't stock every part. I mean, come on, you can't. So he calls me up and he says the part came in 3 days later. So I bring my car in. He says, we have to take your whole front end off, your whole grill, your light package, everything has to come off the front of the car. I said, okay, how long is it going to take? It's about 2 hours. Listen to me. I was in the car business. Don't tell me 2 hours. If it's going to be 3 hours or 4 hours, I want to get the hell out of here, So he goes, no, it should be about 2 hours. So I sit and wait, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I don't see, I'm not hearing nothing from this guy. And all of a sudden he comes over to me and says, I got a loaner for you. I go, a loaner for me? For what? You told me you had the part in. And, the part that I ordered doesn't fit. No, you ordered the wrong freaking part, you jerk, and you didn't want to admit it. So I take a loaner home, and first of all, he doesn't show me anything about the loaner that I have. It's my car's a four-door car, and here I got an SUV now, a brand new one, and my car's 3-4 years old. So some of the dials and everything is completely different. I don't know what the hell is going on now. I get in this car, I have no idea how to do this or how to do that, and whatever. He doesn't show me. So anyway, the next day he calls me up and he says, your car's done. So my car's done. It took 3 days to get the other part in, and now you're telling me that my car is done at 10 o'clock in the morning the next day? What the fuck? So you had the original part to start with, but you didn't want to put it in yesterday for some, I don't know, idea what the hell went on there. So anyway, I get my car and it's fixed, and I get a thing from Belordi. How is your service? You want to know how my service is? Really? So I go on their website. I go, listen to me. Here's a review for your website. First of all, the guy had no clue what the hell he was doing. He ordered the wrong part, didn't admit it. I told him I knew people in the dealership. I know the general manager. I know the used car manager. Okay. What is your problem? And I know the owner. I said, so, and I told him all this. So why is he playing a game with me? He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. So they write back to me. Oh, we're sorry you had that problem, and call Mike. This guy, Mike, he's a service director. Well, I call Mike, and some guy says, oh, he's on the phone with the warranty company. I'll have him call you back later. So 2 or 3 hours later, I get no call from this guy, Mike. I call him again, and I leave a message for him. I say, hey, Mike, this is Mr. Gitlin. I called early in the day. I said, I wrote you a review. I don't know who answered my review, but they said to call you. but apparently you don't call people back. Okay. And I know the owner, and I know the general manager, and I know the used car manager. So what the hell are you doing here? And I was a service advisor at one time. So what are you doing? You're playing a game here. This is unacceptable. So I don't hear back from them. Then I get a message from Audi themselves. How was your service at Bell Audi last time you were in? So I explain. I tell the whole. I had a problem. The guy says, "Well, can you send me your VIN number and all this information?" I go, "Listen to me, buddy. Your computer system is all my information is in your computer system because all your dealers they all have they all hooked up together." I said, "Why should I do your work for you? Look up the repair order. You have my name. You have my phone number. You have my email address. Figure out what went on there." I said, "Yeah, and there's one service advisor there that won't look me in the eye because he screwed me over about 6 or 8 months ago when I go there. So why do I got to do the work for you?" "Well, I'm going to cancel this problem out, if you don't give me the right information." Like, wait a minute. I got to give you information because you don't want to look it up? All you got to do is go Bell Audi, put my name in, put my phone number in, put my email, and my whole record's going to come up. You're not talking to a schmuck here. I was in the business, you moron. The computers are everything in any Audi dealership you can hit up like instantly. So that's where we left. That's where it is right now. So I don't know what's going on with this guy. I got to do the work for you? Wait, yeah. You want to look into my problem, but you want me to give you all the information when all you got to do is hit a button and get all the information. Really?
It reminds me of the fact that customer service is not the reason for their time. It's the interruption of their time.
Right.
What are you doing? Right. You're bothering me.
Right.
And if they can't get more money out of you, they think there's enough customers that they can screw somebody else.
Right.
And
the new thing with COVID is now COVID's giving them an excuse where no matter who you call, no matter what time you call, we're experiencing longer than normal service calls due to COVID. What has COVID got to do with people calling on the phone?
No, it all started with the automation of the telephone system.
Yeah, that's the worst. Voicemail was the worst thing that ever happened to the business.
And
because you can't talk to anybody anymore.
Yeah, especially jobs too. I mean, everything was, send your resume. Well, you send it, and it ends up in the garbage can. Nobody ever reads it
because it doesn't have the buzzwords.
Yeah, exactly. So, because I was a human resource recruiter, and I know what they do. Right. And you could not go and hand deliver your resume. It was done. You're done. So even if you had the qualifications, you know, you wouldn't get. They're not looking at you. So usually what they did is to hire somebody they knew, or they went and got a third party, from somebody from a dot from India. I hate to say the word, not that there's anything wrong with it, but an American should get the job. And what happens was, I had to hire these guys from overseas. My boss would say, hire them. Why? Because we can pay them less than we can pay an American. We could still build the same building. We can build a customer, but more in our pocket. So, you start to realize, well, the most qualified doesn't always get the job.
Right.
So that's kind of the things that I saw with the computer and just the way technology was going. But as far as customer service, it's like a dinosaur now. It's a thing of the past.
Yeah, customer service has gone out the window. And I worked for a company 25 years, and that's all they taught us was customer service, customer service, customer service, customer service. It was before voicemail took over in the 80s and early 90s and 70s. I worked there, and we had an operator who you spoke to. She picked up the phone, and she had like 20 lines, and she picked up the phone and said, "Okay, where do you want to go? Who you want to talk to?" And 9 times out of 10, she got you to the right person. Not all the time, but 9 times out of 10. And it wasn't frustrating. Listening to this bullshit on the phone of due to COVID, our lines are tied up longer than normal. Really? What has COVID got to do with the phone? You get COVID-19 over the phone now. Yeah, okay. No, you cut your staff back, and you don't have enough people. That's what it is.
Exactly. That's the excuse for doing it. And you look at that, and with the COVID, I mean, people are blinded to the fact that you got bent over. You just don't know it,
Right.
You know,
Right.
I
Speaking of bent over, let me tell you a story about my underwear. Okay. Now this is a
I
funny
knew this
story.
was a good segue again.
Yeah, this is a good story. So I like to get underwear from Penny's. I just happen to like Penny's underwear. It seems to last long and whatever. It's pretty strong, and it also has a little more ballroom than some of the others. So some extra ballroom. Okay. So
So you,
anyway,
okay.
so I buy a pack. I got a 38 waist. So I buy a package of 38 waist underwear, and I open the bag up, and three pair. It's a pack of six. Three pair of 38s and three pair of 40s. Now, how does that happen? I can't bring back three pair because it was a pack of six. So I can't bring back three pair of 40 because they're not going to take them back, and they're not going to take back underwear anyway. It doesn't matter, especially during COVID. But how does this happen that I could have three pair of 38s and three pair of 40s in the same bag? Well,
Because whoever was doing the quality control didn't have a pair of these.
right. Or they just, or the 38s were the last of the 38s, and they had apparently the 38, the line had run out right there, and the 40 started apparently. So they put three of each. So somebody, the next 40s were going to be missing three pair of underwear in
See,
a bag.
the 38s were right because
Yeah,
your handle is Pistol Pete 58 at
right,
AOL, right? So
right,
the pistol was right with the 38 because the 38's a revolver, right? But
right.
the 40s was like drinking a brew or something, you know,
An Old English 800, 40 ounce.
40 ounce, yeah, with the
40
homeboys.
ounce Old English 800.
Yeah, see you in Newark there with a 40 ounce.
Right, right. A 40 ounce Old English 800. But how does that happen? That you get three 38s and you can't bring back the 40s because they're not going to pay. And first of all, they would never take back underwear anyway now, which they wouldn't do before.
Especially if you had the brown stain in them, you know, then they really
Well,
wouldn't
you
take
know what
it
they
back.
say: yellow stains in the front, brown stains in the back. You know,
Fudge pack.
in case you're not sure which end is it's which. You know, and
Well,
there are some people who don't know.
yeah, well, in this day and age, you got to be politically correct. You can't really talk about fudge packing and you know,
Well,
winning any popularity contest.
That leads me to a joke. You know, I'm a comedian, so this is a funny joke, and I hope nobody gets offended by it because it's not meant to offend anybody.
Hey, listen, this is all bullshit. Go ahead, you know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is a joke. So this Italian guy and this Polish guy go to the beach every day. Now the Italian guy's 4'10", about 115, 120 pounds. The Polish guy's 6'2", about 215, built like a brick shit house. And you know, after going like for a week, the Polish guy says, you know, we go to the beach every day, and the girls are all over you, man. I mean, all over you. And you're this skinny little guy, you know, and I'm built like a freaking, you know, bodybuilder, and I can't get nobody. You get all the girls. How? Why? He says, listen to me. The Italian guy said, listen to me. I got a trick. He said, I put a potato in my pants. He said, and the girls love it. So the next day, they both go to the beach again, and the same thing happens. The Italian guy gets everybody, and the Polish guy gets nobody. And the Polish guy says to the Italian guy, I don't know. I don't understand. He says, I did what you told me. I put a potato in my pants, and I got nobody. You got everybody. He goes, listen, tomorrow when we go, put it in the front. So that's what made me think of that joke.
Yeah, he must have went to that new beach there in Jersey. What's that new beach called there in Jersey?
Gunnison.
What is it? Dennison?
Gunnison,
oh,
yeah.
Oh, Gunnison. Yeah, this is for the listening audience in case they want to go there and hang out there, hang out their salami. Now,
well, if you're Jewish, it's a, you know, it's a kosher salami, just missing the tip.
Yeah, they use the rest of it.
Has Hebrew National on it.
Yeah, the rest of it they use for a wallet, right?
That's right. Oh, that's a joke about. Oh, you want me to tell that joke too?
Yeah, good.
About the rabbi who goes to Walmart and it's actually he's actually the moil. Actually, the moil actually goes to Walmart. You know, if anybody knows what a moil is the guy that cuts the tips off of the penis when they do the brisk. So anyway, the moil goes to the Walmart and he's going to check out, and he pulls out his wallet, and the cashier says, Jesus, that's an awful small wallet. And he says, listen, if you rub it a few times, it becomes a suitcase. So,
Aladdin's magic wallet, right?
right. That's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I'd segue into that joke for you because I knew
Yeah.
that
That was, you knew I wanted to tell that joke.
yeah,
Yeah.
I knew you wanted to tell it, and
Yeah.
I love the fact that you told it because every time you tell it, you got me, just
Well,
almost on the floor cracking up.
my kids are Jewish and Italian, so they're Jew-ops, I call them. And
Jawapos, yeah.
and or they can't get wholesale, they steal, or they make an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah,
You know, you
that's
gotta be
very
listen,
true.
listen. Comedy is made to forget about the real world. It's supposed to make you laugh. Forget about the outside world, what's going on in your life,
Right.
and you should be able to laugh at yourself. Listen, I tell Jewish jokes. Here's one of the funniest Jewish jokes I ever heard in my life, and I tell it all the time. What do you call 40 Jewish women in a basement?
Don't know.
A wine cellar. I think that's funny as hell, man. And what's the other one? Oh, why can't you keep Jews in jail?
Why is that?
Because they eat locks. You got to be able to laugh. Listen, you could stereotype anybody, any ethnic group, Italians, Jewish, I know Mexican jokes, Chinese jokes. Listen, why is there no Disneyland in China?
Why is that?
Because nobody's tall enough to go on the rides.
I'll tell you, it's real funny. I'm in school years back in Manhattan, and I'm in this class, and this black gentleman says to me, "What are you?" Like everybody in the class, like 30 kids in the class there,
Right.
looks at me like I'm supposed to divulge what I am. So I looked at him. I said, "Well, what do you want me to be?"
Right. Well, they always, I like when somebody says, "Where you from?" I say, "My mother and father."
Yeah.
Isn't
Sometimes
that
I
where,
would.
isn't that where everybody's from? Their mother and father?
Sometimes I would just say Mars. They go, Mars, yeah, Mars, Pennsylvania. Shut up. Like where am I from?
The Mars bar.
It's
Right.
like the joke about the Long Island duck, where the woman goes to get a Long Island duck, and the butcher takes it out, puts it on the counter, and says, "Hey, lady, here's a Long Island duck." She inspects it. She sticks her finger in the duck's ass and says, "This isn't a Long Island duck.
Right.
Go get me another one." So now he says, "Lady, it's a Long Island duck." He goes, "Go in the back, get me another one." He goes back, he brings another duck. She does the same thing, sticks her finger in the ass of the duck. And finally, she gets pissed off, says, "This is not a Long Island duck." He says, "Lady, it is a Long Island duck." She says to him, "Where are you from?" He bends over and he says, "I don't know. You tell me."
That's a good one. That is good. That's a good one. Hey, listen, let me tell you the first joke that my dad told me when I was about 14. I never forgot it. I didn't understand it at 14. I understand it now. I didn't then. All right. These two bums are walking along a road and they haven't eaten in about 5 days. And they find a $20 bill. So they're arguing where they want to go eat. So the guy says, "Listen, let's go to the old log inn." So one guy says, let's go this way, it's faster. The other guy says, "Let's go this way, it's faster." He says, "I'll tell you what, you go that way, I'll go this way." So the guy without the $20 gets there first. "Oh, please, come on, don't tell me he skipped out on me with $20. Come on, man, I haven't eaten in 5 days. What the hell's going on here?" So he waits about a half hour and he says, "Let me go back on the other road, see if I can find this guy." So he walks back up the other road and he sees the guy laying there all bloody, waving a $20 bill in his hand. He goes, "What the frick happened to you?" He said, "I saw this car with the window steamed up. I knocked on the window and I said to the guy, 'How far is the old log in?'" Now, I didn't understand that at 13 or 14, but I understand it now.
I got one for you. It's about going hunting. Trump lost the election to Biden. So Biden calls him up and says, "Trump, no hard feelings." He goes, "I'd like to take you out hunting, just to go out, and we'll have our last one time together." So Trump says, "Okay." So Trump meets Biden, and he meets him at the lodge, and they go out and they beg.
Biden was able to find the lodge?
Yeah, he found it. He had a little one of those navigators in his hand. So they go out, they find the biggest buck that they could find. They bag the buck, they got it. They go back and they cut it up, and now they go back to the hotel. But they come to find out after a drinking in the room that there's only one bed. So Biden says, "Donald," he goes, "I hope you don't mind that there's only one king size bed here." He goes, "We're going to have to share it." So Donald says, "Oh, no problem." He goes, "I can do that with you, So in the middle of the night, Trump wakes up and he's screaming, ah! So Biden looks at him under the covers. He says, what's the matter, Donald? He goes, I can't believe this. I'm bleeding. My ass, I got blood all over me, blood on my ass. My ass is killing me. So Biden says, really? He goes, that's terrible. Are you going to tell anybody? Donald says, hell no. I ain't going to tell anybody. So Biden turns around and says, you want to go hunting again next year?
That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one. Listen, so I started telling you a Chinese joke, but there was another joke I was going to tell you, which, I know. This is not a, it's not anything about ethnic group or anything, but it just happened to be a funny joke. Oh, actually, I was going to tell a Mexican joke because we were talking about, different ethnic groups and all. So, do you hear the joke about why is the grass so high in Mexico?
Don't know.
Because we're all here cutting grass. So anyway, the other joke I was going to tell you was, what do you see when a Pillsbury Doughboy bends over? Donuts. Oh, then I got a good Polish one. Which one? Which two of them actually? It's the one about this. One is not. One is old. I think people might have heard it, but anyway, two Polish guys go hunting. And they saw a sign that said bear left. They turned around and went home. Or the two Polish guys that are driving in a truck and are going down a hill, and the driver says, "Holy shit, we lost our brakes." And the passenger says, "Don't worry, there's a stop sign at the bottom of the hill."
I got a Polish joke for you. Years back, I'm living in Pennsylvania. I need to get my house painted. So
sorry to hear that.
I look up the directory and I find this painter. And a guy comes to the house. He says he's Polish. That's fine. Right. I'll be back in a couple of hours. I come back. Next thing you know, I find an ambulance there at my house, and they're taking the guy out in a straitjacket. So I said to the police, I said, what's going on? He said, the guy called 911. He painted himself in the corner. He couldn't get out.
Get out, right. Right.
There you go. That's my Polish joke for you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, what you got next here? What you got cooking?
I'm trying to think
I got one for you. I got one more for you.
Yeah.
I'm working retail as a manager in Jersey, Tom's River. And I had this salesman who was pissed off at the company. They didn't promote him, whatever. And he did everything he could to piss off the customer if he couldn't make his deal. So a customer comes in and he's got this low price on this item that Sixth Avenue Electronics was advertising for $349 for a $1,000 camcorder, which we have for like $999. So the customer's saying, you got to honor this price. You guys say you get the lowest price and 10% of the difference, right? So the salesman did not want to sell him this item because that was our policy. He says, well, the lowest price is on the ticket. So the guy's getting pissed off. He goes, what do you mean? So Allan goes and picks up the card right off the product. He has it in his hand. He said, you want the lowest price? The guy goes, yeah, I want the lowest price. He takes the price tag, throws it on the floor. Here's the fucking price. It's on the floor. So now I'm standing there and I get to hear the whole thing, right? And I go, oh, shit. So Allan doesn't realize that I heard the whole thing. So after this is over, I said, have the customer come over, and talk to me. So the customer comes to talk to me. And I took the hit for the store. I sold the product at that reduced, ridiculously low price. And even though I tried to tell the customer that, you're not going to get it over there if you went over there, they don't care. Like, they were just happy that I made the deal. Right. So afterwards, I said, Allan, when you're done, come to my office. So now he's about 6'2", like a big guy like you are. And he's like cringing at the fact that, I have to call him into the office. He's thinking he's getting fired. Right. So he comes into the office. He's got his head down. He goes, you heard that, right? I said, yeah, I heard the whole thing. I said, man, I wish I had my camcorder out to film that. I said, that was hysterical. Right. I said, you're really pissed off at the company. He goes, yeah. I said, well, let's talk about it. I said, look, your wife just had a baby. I said, you got rent, mortgage, whatever you got to pay. I said, you've been here for 3-4 years. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to fire you. He goes, really? I said, no. I said, I'm going to take you under my wing and teach you how to be a real salesman. Mm-hmm. He said, you'll do that? I said, yeah, if you do it right, I said, I'll get you to be assistant manager. So I'm grooming this guy. And then the district manager turns around to me and says, what are you, out of your mind? This he's a loser. I said, no, he's not. I said, let's take a look at his numbers. He's making money. I said, you passed him up for a promotion. I said, I'll tell you what. I will guarantee you that if I take him under my wing, he won't be a turkey no more. He'll fly like an eagle. So I had this guy, Allan, turned him around on a dime and became the best salesman in my store. But the story was priceless. I said, Allan, I said, you know what? I got to keep you around just for laughs. I said, just do me a favor. Don't do that again.
Right. Hey, so I know what the blonde joke I was trying to think of. You hear about the blonde who goes to a gynecologist and he says to her, you're pregnant.
Right.
And she says to him, is it mine? I knew you'd like that one.
Yeah, I like that.
Crazy
you got some good stuff. I'm telling you. That's why I'm glad we did this tonight. Oh, I got one for you real quick. I have a lot of Jersey jokes. Unbelievable. I don't live there probably because it was a joke when I lived there. But
it's a joke now, so it's a difference.
Yeah,
we got clueless freaking Phil. This guy raises the tolls and raises the gas while half the state's out of work. Does that make a lot of sense?
No, it doesn't. A lot of the stuff right now doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
It just
well,
defies
you got the
logic.
And Cuomo, so the pig. Cuomo called the pig on the front page of the Post today.
Well, he's going to go to jail, is what I think, and rightfully so.
He'll get impeached. He'll get impeached. That's all. He'll step down.
He wanted to become president, and now he's going to be a resident instead of that, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Yeah, maybe they'll put him in the same office with Wiener.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, they can both do the nasty on each other.
Together with Fredo, his brother.
Yeah. Oh yes, his brother is another. He's like a paperweight. I don't know what's inside the head, but
I don't know who's weighing who down though. They're both two idiots.
The lights are on, but I don't think either one of them are home. It's just a shame. Abuse and power. I mean, you had, like, for example, 14 years as a governor. He's found 14,000 reasons to steal. I've been in this state many years back and forth, as you know. And one of the things I've seen is no betterment in 14 years during his administration. No. The only claim to fame that he's got is was the Governor Andrew Cuomo Bridge. But I think that after he built it, he should have walked off of it, walked the plank, and did us all a favor. Because right now, I mean, there's nothing that he could say that he did that 20 years from now you say that this was a benefit that we got from this past governor, or any of them for the matter of fact. It's just crazy. Yeah, but I was thinking of a story to tell you, and I kind of went off. Oh yeah, I got it for you here. This is a Jersey one here. I'm managing an employment agency, and I have a driver, and the driver is driving around my workers to work, and I don't know it, and they let me know that he's getting high, before work, and then picking up a dozen people to take him to the job. But before he takes them there, he goes and cops more drugs, and they end up being late for work on a number of different occasions. So one of the guys says, I got to talk to you. Fine. He tells me. He goes, I refuse to drive with this guy no more. I says, fine. I says, I'll figure it out. So the guy comes in the office, and I said to him, by the way, I'm going to have everybody drug tested, starting with everybody in this office, and then I'll have the employees out there drug tested. He goes, what do you mean? You can't have me drug tested? I said, why not? I says, I'm your boss. I said, I can do that. I said, I'm not going to tell you why. It's just, and it's not personal, but even though like I had, suspicions, I said, but I'm going to send you for a drug test. He goes, well, I'm going to pass the test, uppity or whatever, that's okay, fine. So I call up the collection agency, tell them I'm going to send him the guy. I said, do me a favor, when you get him there, I said, make him sit there for about an hour. Do not let him just go and pee in the cup or whatever. Make him wait about an hour. So he goes home, with the van, sees his wife, gets a urine sample, and then goes to the collection agency to, make his urine, test. And so they call me back and they say, by the way, he showed up an hour and 20 minutes after he was supposed to, and we made him wait, and he was fidgeting, he wouldn't sit down, whatever. So they said to me, that the urine wasn't the right temperature. So they knew that he brought it with him, right? So what do you want us to do? I said, don't say anything to him. I said, let him come back to the office, and I'll handle him. So he comes back to the office. He goes, I passed that test. You'll see, whatever, So about 3 days later, I waited till Friday, right? Just before, I paid everybody. And after he dropped off the people, he was one of the last to come up at the end of the day. And I said to him, I said, by the way, I said, I just got the results back from the drug test. He goes, well, yeah.
And your wife's on drugs.
No, I turned around to him. I said, I got good news and bad news for you. He said, what's the bad news? I said, the good news is you're pregnant. I said, the bad news is you're fired. Give me your keys. Give me the keys. So he said, you can't fire me. I said, no, I just did.
Me.
So he said to me, what's the matter? You don't like me? I says, no, contrary to the fact I like you, but I like you to be somewhere else. Now get the fuck out.
Right.
So he says to me, he says, I'm going to kick your ass. I said, you in what army?
Right.
I said to him, I said, you know what? I said, you could tell whoever you want, but tell your story walking. Give me the keys. Take your stuff out of there and don't come back here. And if you do come back here, I will kick your ass. So my assistant said to me, she goes, well, you're a mild-mannered guy, but today, you just laid down the law. I said, look, if you would have been honest with me, he had a problem, I could have dealt with it. I said, but you can't, do that and try to strong on somebody and say, well, it's okay for me to get high. And, I had to kiss his ass goodbye, but, that was one of my stories.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. But, people are, I mean, I just think that if you're going to do a job, go out there and be the best you can at the job. Do your best and be passionate about what you do. And if you don't like what you do,
then don't do it.
Then don't do it.
Right. I hear people complain about their jobs all the time. I hate this job. This job sucks. Then quit. Nobody's putting a gun to your head to stay there. You don't like it, get the hell out. Listen, I have many jobs. Listen, I had one job for 25 years. I've had many jobs till I retired. Some 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, some 6 months, 3 months. If I didn't like it, I got the freak out. That's it. You know right away if a job is right for you or not.
Yeah, I got one for you. This is like a Polish joke in a sense. Guys working for me, I had him come in the office to work, and I was grooming him possibly to be, an office assistant. So I find out the checks are missing, but I'm not sure who stole them. And there were checks I had old checks that weren't used anymore. We changed the account, and so the guy stole these checks. He dummied them up, tried to make them look good.
Not knowing that the account was changed.
Right, yeah, not knowing. And what happened was I get a call from the bank, and they asked me to come down there. So I go down there, and they said, your employee was down here, and he got these checks here, and he's got all these amounts on him, but he made a mistake. And what did he do? Instead of writing 100, he wrote 100. So he spelled the word 100 wrong. So when he comes to the office, I said, look, I got to fire you. I said, and then I'm going to send you back to high school. I said, because you need to take a spelling test. And I showed him the check, and he's like, I said, yeah. I said, you should have thought twice before you try to pull one over. I said, you should have did a spell checker on this one. People
maybe
are crazy.
Spell check was around, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, one last one real quick. Yeah. I got a guy who wants to work for me. And so I says, well, I got to check your references. So I'm looking at the resume, and one of the jobs was Zambuca was the name of the manager, right? So I looked at it, Zambuca, and I go, excuse me. I said, Zambuca? I said, I'm going to call him up. I said,
I was drinking with him. I was drinking with him last night. I was drinking with Zambuca last night.
He looked at me. I said, so fess up right now. I said, so I pick up the phone. I said, before I call him, I said, be honest with me. I said, you're full of shit, right? He goes, yeah. He says, I thought you weren't going to check.
Really?
I said, what are you,
why'd you put down Grey Goose while you're at it, while you're at it?
I said, look, I'm going to have you in the office here with money, especially I had the guy before that who couldn't spell the word 100. Right. I'll be damned if I have Sambuca,
Why don't you just put down Budweiser?
And this
Grey Goose.
These guys, they swore that they're going to get away with it. I was like, you know what? No, I don't think so. You need to get a job somewhere else. I cracked up, and I was like at the point where, you know what? I would be grateful that somebody gave me a job. Here's the last one. You'll like this one. Then you could take over the mic. I got this job at the same company. The company is called Exploit because we exploited everybody. But we're a light industrial agency, and I get a call for a moving job, and they needed 10 guys every day for about 3 months. And at that time, the bill rate would have been like $10 an hour for each guy, which is a lot of money at that time for the guys, you know. And the guy said to me, he goes, I'm going to give you one chance. If you can't produce 10 guys on the first day, that's it. Nope, I'm not going to give you another chance. You're done. So I said, oh, don't worry, I can do it, you know, thinking I can do it. The morning of it, I got like 9 guys. He calls me up. He goes, did the van leave yet? He goes, listen, I need them here by 9 o'clock. He goes, if they're not here by 9 o'clock, and if you're one guy short or whatever, I don't want to hear no bullshit.
I would have gotten the van.
You know, so now I'm frantic. I'm down on the street in Newark. They're looking for the 10th guy. So I can't find him. I go back to the office and says, oh, shit, I can't believe it. This is a good billing job. Some guy comes in the office, right? And he says, I'm looking for a job, right? So I look at him.
Get in the van.
I said, get in the van. I said,
Right.
what size gloves you wear, weight belt, whatever? He goes, wait, I got to tell you the story. I said, no, you can tell me the story later. He goes, what about the application? I says, we'll have the driver fill it out after, you know, while you're driving down there. He goes, we'll get that done today. He goes, but I got to tell you my story. I said, all right, tell me the story quick walking. So we're walking down to the van. He goes, listen, he goes, I was in jail for 9-10 years.
Who gives a shit?
And I went in there and I served my time, but nobody would give me a job. I said, well, I'm giving you a job now. What's the problem? He goes, I got to tell you the reason I was in jail. I said, I don't want to know the reason. I said, did you serve your time? He goes, yeah. I said, did you serve time well? He goes, yeah. I said, I'm not going to judge you twice. He goes, I got to tell you what I did. I said, okay, so what did you do? He says, well, I came home and my wife was fucking my best friend. I says, okay, so I killed them both. I said, do you have any remorse? He says, oh, yeah, that I ran out of bullets. So now I said to him, I said, now I put my arm around his shoulder. I said, now you get in the fucking van. And if you tell I said, if you tell anybody the story, I will fucking kill you.
Right.
So after that,
I think you're going to throw you. Yeah.
So after that, he comes back to the office later on the next day or whatever, and he starts talking to me. He says, you know, for 30 days I was trying to get a job, but I couldn't get a job, and you were the only guy that would take a chance on me. I said, look, you got a job here with me as long as you want. Just never tell that story. But every morning, Allan, he would come, and I would drink espresso in the Portuguese neighborhood there in Newark, the Ironbound section.
Yeah, right.
He would come in the morning, Ferry Street, with my cappuccino, and he would be there when I opened the door of the agency to make sure that nobody hassled me at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning when I opened up. And he did this for about 9 months because he said to me, he goes, you gave me a chance when no one else would.
Plus he was carrying a shotgun too. So,
well, here's the thing I told him. I said, look, I don't know how I would have reacted if I came home and somebody was doing that with my wife. I said, you know, rage and anger, the rule book goes out the window. You might do something like that. I said, I'm not going to judge you for what you've done. I said, look, you serve your time. I said, 10 years from now, nobody's going to ask you, where you've been before. They're going to see where you are right now. I said, just, change your life from this moment on. And the guy ended up, doing the right thing after that. And I was glad because you can't judge people, by what they do. Especially if they serve time. I mean, look at all these politicians. They haven't served time yet. I'm waiting for them to repent.
They're serving time, but it's costing us a lot of money.
Well, yeah, and you know what the kicker in the whole thing is? The only place the laws really apply to is the District of Columbia, the 10-mile district in Washington, which 5 million people live in. So if you look at the 1%, 3 million people out of the 5 million is the 1% plus the peons who take care of them. So that's where all the money is in Washington because they know in that 10-mile perimeter, they can't be arrested. But once they move out,
peons, don't you? Because they get peed on. That's why.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So here it is. I mean, people don't realize that, the laws don't really apply to them, but they've been tricked. And I crack up like, you know what? Not me. I'm retired now, and I look at it, you can blow smoke, but blow it in another direction. I see what they did to the Indians. I'll be damned if they're going to blow smoke in my direction,
Right. Like a Pocahontas.
Yeah.
To poke at
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah. You look at Black History Month. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
No,
But what
no,
about?
but
But what about?
why does it have to be a color to dignify that though? Why you just, you know, History Month? What does that have to
Exactly.
be Black history? What about white history or Spanish history or Indian
Or what about
history?
the Native American history?
Right.
You
Indian
know.
history. They were
Yeah,
here first.
yeah, they're the true Americans. I wish they give it back to them. I'd give them 10% tax and shit. I
I
give
give
it
it
to
some
them.
trinkets, a few trinkets back. Yeah.
I mean, look at the deal. Peter Minuet was it $26 and some trinkets, and they got
Right.
Manhattan. And
Right.
look what Cuomo and De Blasio did to it. They
They
destroyed it.
destroyed it. Right. Didn't take much.
I was in this city, right, and they want to interview me about De Blasio painting Black Lives Matter in front of Trump Towers, and I said, he's clueless and blindless. I mean, he's an idiot to do something like
Right.
that. What does it
Sure.
say? Well, I know my interview wasn't going to be put up on TV or whatever, because I said, I'm not politically correct. I said, what kind of a person does that who is the mayor of a city? What kind of example does he set? What kind of hatred is he spewing for a guy who's president of the United States who's got this luxurious building, Trump Towers, in front of the Trump Towers? I mean, what is he thinking to do something like that? So I look at this, when you see this, you realize that, something has to change. I was in the Trump Towers when Trump was elected in 2016. And that night, we all had to be escorted out of the side door by the CIA, because 10,000 people were coming up the street on Fifth Avenue to rip off everybody's head who was in the Trump Towers that evening. So I was lucky to get out the side door. And I actually had, and I'll say I had it, I had on a Make America Great Again Trump's hat. And I was proud to be wearing it. And I realize now, you look at it, and when history, is 50 years from now, when it's all, written, said, and done, you realize how good of a president the man really, really was.
Yep. Yep. I didn't agree with his Twitter account or some of the stuff he said, but he was for the people. He was true and everything for the people.
Yeah, I mean, but no matter what he did, every day they were ragging him, they were doing something, and they tried so many years to say he was a racist, right?
But wait a minute, he's out of office almost 2 months now, right? Month and a half, and all you hear is, well, Trump did this and Trump did that. They got him still. He's still, excuse me, in front of the news because they keep talking about him. Because Biden doesn't have a clue what the hell he's doing. The guy is a puppet on a string. I call him backwards Biden.
I got people sending me photos of him, a double wearing a mask and showing the latex right underneath on the neck there, and then showing like a fake White House that was the studio was done at Castle Rock Studios in Culver City, California, and they're showing it. And I'm saying, if this is true, shame on us as American people to be
fooled by it. Right.
Oh yeah, and like I said, if the laws only apply to people that are in the District of Columbia, then we all got to say no. I mean, the mask. I mean, how much longer can you wear a mask?
Right.
The only good thing I see about wearing a mask is that if I farted, people are 6 feet away from me and they can't get wind of it. That's about it.
Well, if it's SBD,
SBD
so is always good, especially if you're in an elevator, because nobody knows who did it.
So you look at it right now, Alan. I mean, everything stinks right now. What's going on? But to keep blaming this man only makes him more famous. Everything makes him bigger than life.
Right. Listen, he's out of office, and they're still blaming everything on him.
Exactly. It rained today. Blame it on Trump.
Right.
I crack up. I told this one guy that I said, so what next are you going to blame him on?
Right.
What else? What else that didn't go right that he did?
Right.
So they don't get it, And I said, don't be a hater. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. It's all a game. They don't realize left, right, or red, or blue. It's all bullshit.
You don't have a car because you live in New York, but in New Jersey, gas in the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks since Biden's been in has gone up about 60 cents. Why? They've had the gas in the reserves for the last 2 years. Don't blame the pipeline. Don't blame he got in. Don't blame the turbines or anything else or the thing in Texas. That gas has been sitting in a tank okay, for 2 or 3 years, and you're going to charge us now for gas that you paid for 2, 3 years ago.
Alan, the only way around stuff like that, and I've said this for many, many years, and I'll say it now, is that if you took, let's say, Manic Monday, we'll call it, right? Every other Monday, nobody bought gas in New Jersey. Right. If you did, it's supply and demand.
Right.
If people aren't demanding it, they have to lower the cost of it. It's obvious. So do that with milk. Do that with gas. Do that with cigarettes. Do that with all high-price items, and you'll find out they will be catering to you and want to give it away because they can't sell it.
But people won't do it, though.
Yeah, you know why? Because they're contented cows.
Right.
They're all contented cows.
You know, like Coke said the other day about white people are too whitish. Like, don't be too white. Are they crazy? Are they freaking nuts? And they're retiring the white polar bear, which is insane. The white polar bear has been in all their commercials for about 20 years.
Everything is backwards now. So, I mean, what was correct before now is taboo. So you just wonder, where are we really heading? And anybody who's a truther, they go after the truther and they try to demonize them, all because they're logical in their responses or in their statements or what they're seeing. And I'm a conscious observer right now to what I see. And what I see right now actually sucks.
Right. Yep. So,
but I'm glad we did this tonight. So what else we got? We got any more stuff?
Yeah, that's pretty much about it. You know, we've been on almost for an hour, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we had some good time here. You know what? I like to end with something real quick here.
What?
I'm going to do a comedy blooper. It's about computers because the website that we got here is the internet guy for you.
You don't want to. You want to do a computer blooper? I'll give you one.
All right, give me one first. Yeah.
All right. First of all, how about they send you an email that you never signed up for? Okay, so you want to unsubscribe to it, and you got to tell them why you unsubscribe to it, and then they ask you for your email, which they just sent you an email. Does that make any sense?
No.
Why do I have to give you my email when you sent me the email? And then after I say unsubscribe, you say, why do you want to unsubscribe? Because I don't want your emails anymore, you schmucks. What do I have to explain to you for? What is wrong with you?
I've had so many computers go bad on me for various reasons, which I don't want to go through right now.
Right.
But I will say, the other day I'm thinking about it. You know, I've lost a lot of money. Like now, I just got 2 new batteries I got today because someone fried my battery and my charger, and I'm not going to go into how and all that. But
that's not for your computer. That's for something else.
Yeah, my vibrator. No, but
I didn't want to say that, but you did. Okay.
My whoopee cushion. But in any event, so I'm thinking, I'm a creative guy. So maybe I come up with something, about this, So I found this little bit that I'm going to put on here, and we'll put this on, and then we'll end right after that. But Alan, let's have a computer laugh here, can we?
Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Oh. Jag var inte riktigt... Jag tror du ska ta det lugnt, ta det lugnt, ta det lugnt, ta det lugnt! Ta det lugnt!
What's going on?
Computer virus?
You kidding?
Fucking shit. Fucking work. Fucking shit.
This is Allan Gitlin, the G-Man, with the Internet Guy. We're going to be signing out. I figured you get a little laugh with that tonight here, you know.
That's called computer frustration. Technology is great when it works. When it doesn't, it could be a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's been Microsoft's problem for the last 30 years.
These computer problems for the last 40 years. What are you talking about? Not just Microsoft. They're all like that.
Yeah, that's very true. I just figured I'd share that with you because, as I said, the Internet Guy for you is basically a site talking about, you know, electronics. So I figured it's a good place to have bloopers.
Right.
So that's my my bloopers video for tonight. So, Allan, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Stefan. Appreciate it, man.
Your website is www.theg-man.net. Anybody wants to go to Allan's site, you got the digit now. You know where to go. Allan's one of the funniest guys in the East Coast right now. If he was on the West Coast, he'd be the funniest guy there. I'm glad I got to meet you in Chicago. I met you in the middle.
Yep.
So now,
Yep.
like, we're here in two different states. I'm in the state of confusion, and your state where? What state are you in?
I don't know. New Jersey, we don't know what state we're in.
I don't know why they call it new. What's so new about it?
I don't know. And they call it the Garden State when it's basically all roads. Should be Parkway or Turnpike, and potholes.
That's exactly right. You know what? It didn't used to be that way. You know,
No.
I lived there about a dozen years ago, I think. You know, and it was a nice place to live then. Now, I beg to differ. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know what's going on, but you know what? The only thing we could do is change ourselves at this point. So what I'm doing, I'm rolling with some comedy going forward. You know, because
Gotcha.
I can't make sense of anything else, so I might as well make sense of what I can and share some stories and bring on guests like yourself to.
And everyday life is funny. People don't realize it.
That's exactly right. And we just did today what we just vented. We got some stories out, and we let people see that, you know, we're two regular guys just telling it like it is and sharing some comedy
I
with
go
you.
every couple of days. I don't go regular. Every couple of days for me.
SPK. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Any
Okay.
event,
We'll end
Allan,
it with that.
any event. It was a pleasure with talking to you tonight.
All right,
You're
that guy.
You're live on there, and we'll do this sometime in the near future, God willing. And it's been a pleasure. Have a good night, my friend.
You too.
Okay.
All right, man. Thanks.
Bye.